I hate math. Using it, adding it, and planning it. Every day. Hi, my name is Angel Avery Wright, and I will be facilitating this webinar on math for the next 25 minutes. The objectives for today are that participants will be able to recognize everyday math teachable moments, and that participants will be able to develop math activities for everyday use. How do you feel about math? What kind of emotions are evoked when someone mentions algebra or geometry to you? Sometimes people will say they're anxious or scared. Some feel annoyed. Some hate math. Some find it boring. Some will find it too hard. But then there are others like me who just love it. Why is math important? My appointment is at 10:30 and it's 9:15. How much time do I have before I need to leave home? I am looking at my online banking. I have a balance of $580 and have scheduled bills totaling $475. Can I afford to go to the movie this week? This recipe makes enough food to serve 12, but I only need to feed my family of 4. How do I modify the recipe and end up with the same delicious result? I have heard that my new tax rate is 18%. Am I having enough taxes deducted from my monthly paycheck to cover my tax bill at the end of the year? Yes, math helps you tell time, helps with your finances, it even makes you a better cook. However, there are even more important reasons to learn math. Perhaps the most important reason to study math is because the study of mathematics builds problem-solving skills, and all citizens need to know how to reason and analytically think through a problem. The habits of mind associated with learning mathematics trains our brains to seek solutions in a logical way. Why is math important in early childhood? Research on children's learning in the first 6 years of life demonstrates the importance of early experiences in mathematics. An engaging and encouraging climate for children's early encounters in mathematics develops their confidence in their ability to understand and then use this mathematics. These positive experiences help children to develop dispositions such as curiosity, imagination, flexibility, inventiveness, and persistence, which contribute to their future success in and out of school. Early childhood educators should actively introduce mathematical concepts, methods, and language through a variety of appropriate experiences and research-based teaching strategies. Teachers should guide children in seeing connections of ideas within mathematics as well as with other subjects, developing their mathematical knowledge throughout the day and across the curriculum. They must encourage children to communicate, explaining their thinking as they interact with important mathematics in deep and sustained ways. Math in your classroom. Use it, add it, plan it. Use it. Use what already comes up. At the start of the day, parents of infants at greeting time, toddlers during free play, preschool circle time, and school age arrival in the afternoon. Infants and their parents being greeted when they first come in. Infants are dropped off by parents or family members who relay information to the caregiver. Johnny had a bottle at 6 a.m. Carrie drank 5 ounces about an hour ago. Destiny slept 8 hours straight last night. Repeat it to the baby. You ate at 6 a.m.? That was 2 hours ago. I bet you'll be hungry again very soon. You slept 8 hours last night? That's a long time. Toddlers. During toddler free play, add words to everything they do. There are 2 of you in the block section. You have 4 blocks, and Joey has 3 blocks. There are 4 blocks in your tower. I have more pop beads than Sam, but less than Cindy. The apple is a sphere and the basket is a cube. Preschool circle time. Have preschool children take their own attendance when they arrive in the morning, whether it's moving a photo of themselves to the side of the board that says at school, or marking an X next to their name. When you begin circle time, start with attendance. How many friends do we have today? Count the photos or the X's with the children. We have 16 friends in class today. Count those that are missing. We have 2 friends missing. As the children gain practice with this type of activity, change it up. We have 18 friends, but only 16 friends are here. How many are missing? This sets the foundation for addition and subtraction. School-age children. If 16 children arrive after school today, how many of them want crackers for snack? In 5 minutes, we will go outside. Who can tell me what time that will be? Today is the 53rd day of school. Today is Jessica's 8th birthday. Adding math to meal times. Bottle feeding, shapes at lunch, how many crackers, counting napkins, reading labels, hand washing, using measuring cups for serving. Bottle feeding and math. Typically, we'll see a staff person standing at a counter mixing water and formula while the infant sits in a bouncy seat. The teacher may look over her shoulder and say, "I know you're getting hungry. I'm making your bottle now." But it's really not much of a conversation. Why not pull the infant a little closer and tell her what you're doing? I am measuring 2 tablespoons of formula and adding it to 8 ounces of water to make you a bottle. I'll warm it in the warmer for about 5 minutes until it reaches a certain temperature. Do you know what that temperature is? And then there's so much math added to that conversation. Shapes at lunch. There are plenty of shapes to name during lunch. Sandwiches are often cut in triangles or made with square cheese and round bologna. Fruit is often cut into cubes. Crackers are round or square. Tomatoes and cucumbers are round. I see your bologna as a circle because it's round on all sides. It looks like something else on your plate. Can you find another circle? The cheese is a square. You might find a square cracker on your plate as well. Can you find one anywhere else? Maybe on the milk carton or your fruit cubes? How many? Preschool children love to compare how much they have with each other. Use that to your advantage. I have 4 crackers and so does Ian. If I eat 1 cracker, then I only have 3, and Ian will have more than me. If he eats 1, then he has 3, and we will have the same. Here you can talk about comparing. Counting napkins. School-age children can have math practice regularly too. Choose your snack helper and ask them to find out how many napkins, paper plates, or cups they will need. They can count the children present or ask for a show of hands, then have them count out the proper number of items. Reading labels. It's never too early to teach children about healthy habits like eating well. School-age children can easily learn to understand the labels on food products. They can read the numbers and understand where they fall into a healthy or not so healthy food choice. And percentages, grams, serving sizes, that's all about math. If children are serving themselves, let them use measuring cups or spoons to serve with. Then they'll learn what an actual cup looks like. Hand washing. If children are washing their hands multiple times a day, let some of them involve counting to 20. And not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 20. But it has to have those pauses in between them or it's too quick. Transitions. If you're going to use a timer, it's great, but explain to the children what it means. I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes. Wow, we cleaned up in 2 minutes. That was fast. Counting children in line. Often see the teachers do a quick count, but let the children be a part of it. Whether they count the whole group with you or each child says the next number. With older children, turn it into a game. Can they count by tens? Planning for math. When we talk about planning for math, we talk about your display, materials, activities, and songs. Math display. Place a large clock halfway down the wall instead of high up in the corner where only the teachers will see it. Get a larger one. This will help the children be able to see it. You can make clock cards to show them what happens when, but make sure you're using it. When the big hand gets to the 12 and the little hand is on the 5, your mommy will be here. Shape posters are good, but better if they show familiar items that are also in that shape. Numbers and number value cards or posters demonstrate how many 5 is. Using center cards to determine how many children are allowed in a center is also an easy and efficient way to teach number value. Math materials. Having math materials isn't enough if children don't use them for math or don't use them at all. How many counting bears does it take to play house? If you have an abacus, and I haven't often seen these used, use them for attendance or daily graphing. How many children like the snow versus how many don't? Tangrams, using shapes to make other objects, so having the cards to go along help make it a math activity. And you can make your own. Simply trace the shapes on a piece of paper into some kind of design and the children can use that. Counting cubes become towers and swords, but how can you use them for math? Counting trays are one way. Can you think of another? Puzzles. Shapes, numerals, numbers of objects are a good introduction to young children, and you can use bigger and 3D ones for older children. Math activities. Plan for them regularly. Daily activities, small group activities, free play activities. Seasonal and theme changes make it easy to create new math activities. Paper fish bowls with a number on each and several felt fish to add to while learning to count can easily become a tree with a number and leaves in the fall, which becomes a mitten that needs snowflakes in the winter. Keep math in other areas of play, such as dramatic play and blocks, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Math and music. 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 10 little kittens, 5 monkeys jumping on the bed, 1 potato, 2 potato, 5 green speckled frogs, Alice the camel, or 10 in a bed. These are all different songs that include math, and you can use them during transition, circle time, bathroom breaks, hand washing, lots of places for music, including math and dramatic play. All of these items listed have the potential to be a math activity. Clocks. What time is dinner? What time does the restaurant open? Clock cards could help here. Menus. Gathered or make your own, but explain what menus are and what the prices mean. I love when I hear a child say that the hamburger costs $1,000,000. Play money. If you visit the restaurant, don't forget to pay and get your change. Scales. People weigh themselves at home or at the doctor's office all the time. Why not add one to dramatic play? Maybe a small one if you have a grocery store and you want to measure fruit and vegetables. Measuring spoons and cups. Can't bake a pie without them, so ask the children for a recipe and ask how much of each ingredient. When they do bake, the oven and microwave have temperatures. Food that is split into halves, quarters, or eighths is the beginning of fraction work. The cash register. What do those numbers really mean? And phones. All phones have numbers. In a world of cell phones, does anyone remember anyone's phone number? Teaching in these moments is very important to math concepts. Including math in the block area. Remember, blocks are not the same as fine motor materials. Blocks slide and do not connect. Do you want to build a house? You need to measure the pieces of wood for the frame. Teach children how to use different measuring tools, such as measuring tapes and rulers. Levelers make sure things are straight. After all, who wants a crooked house? Shapes. The unit blocks come in so many different shapes. Teach them the words such as cube and pyramid, etc. Love to see photos showing different architecture and then a handmade book of how to make different things from the blocks. It's all about making connections. Why is math important for infants? The learning of math and numbers should begin in very early in life. Math for infants and toddlers should be introduced informally and naturally as opportunities come up. There are many toys for young children that relate to math. When children use toys, staff should sometimes talk about math attributes such as shape, size, or numbers on the toys as part of a natural talking they do with children. Math is learned in meaningful contexts when teachers count with children during daily routines such as diapering or mealtimes. Sing songs and chanting rhymes is a way to help children learn to count. Obviously, math should not be taught formally to these young kids. Math affects many interactions and items in the classroom. So if you're looking at this from an ERS standpoint, these are some of the things that we'll see in an ITERS book. Number 13, staff ask children simple questions and add more if child is looking at a poster. So if you're looking at something that's math related, ask some simple math questions. Number 14, 3.3, 5.3, and 7.2 talks about using books. Do you have any math books or books with math concepts that you read to the children regularly? Number 5, 5.4, staff talk to children about displayed material. Do you have posters or photos that show math concepts? Number 7, 5.4, staff talk with children during meals and snacks and provide a pleasant time. Again, we're talking about labeling shapes during lunch and snack. Number 9, 5.4, pleasant staff interaction during diapering. Do you count how many wipes you've used during the diaper change? Listening and talking. So good practice is staff talk to children throughout the day. The talk is meaningful and they use simple descriptive words. But the better practice is to use a wide range of simple exact words, verbal play, and talk about many different topics. Preschool. Math can also mean things such as counting, measuring, comparing quantities, recognizing shapes, and written numbers. If you look at Ecker's R, number 26, 5.1 talks about having many materials. 5.2 talks about those materials being accessible for a substantial portion of the day. 5.3 talks about those materials being organized and in good condition. And 5.4 talks about daily activities included to promote math, number, and learning. At 7.1, math activities requiring more input from staff offered at least once every 2 weeks. And at 7.2, those materials are rotated monthly. If you look at Ecker's 3, they have 3 sections on math. 23 is math materials and activities. 24 is math and daily events. And 25 is understanding written numbers. School-age math. If you look at Sacker's U number 24, 3.1, 5.1, and 7.1. For good practice, you have some age-appropriate materials for math reasoning games, and staff provide help when needed. Better is a variety of games, and staff encourage children to practice math skills in daily activities such as keeping scores for games or measuring and cutting craft materials. Best practice says that games are coded for difficulty so older children can help the younger children. Here's a simple question. If 2 equals 6, 3 equals 12, 4 equals 20, 5 equals 30, 6 equals 42, what does 9 equal?